Hey there, and welcome to the Chronicle Pregame Show. I'm Ryan Hoerger alongside Nick Martin. We're here to get you set up for Duke's season opener. It's finally here. Duke's going to be taking on Tulane under the bright lights of Yulman Stadium in New Orleans on Thursday night, 9:30 p.m. scheduled first for the kickoff. And really, what we're going to hear today, Nick, is kind of get you set up for what the offseason's been like for the Blue Devils. A lot of moving parts, especially on the offensive side of the ball, and what we can expect from this Blue Devil team going forward. But really, I think it all starts up front under center for the Blue Devils and new quarterback Thomas Sirk.
Yeah, Thomas Hoerger is going to be the guy to watch, come Thursday. He's not only going to be one of the most important players on this team, he's also going to be, one of the most interesting just in terms of seeing how he develops throughout the season. He's only thrown 14 career passes, but he's established himself, as the phantom on the ground, or the menace, or what have you. And so he's got that part of his game established. And I think what people want to see is, can he sling the rock? He's going to have some new faces for at least for Duke fans to throw to this season. But Thomas Sirk is going to be easily the most important part of Thursday's game.
Yeah, definitely. And you look at who he's going to be throwing the ball to. You got to replace a guy who could change the game anytime the ball was thrown his way. In Jamison Crowder, Duke has a new set of receivers coming back. Senior Max McCaffrey is going to be an anchor for the squad. John L. Barnes has to step up as a junior. But you've also got a couple of interesting young newcomers as well. You got Chris Taylor, Trevon Lee, redshirt freshman. T.J. Romney is a true freshman. So we may need to see some young blood early on for the Blue Devils at wide receiver. But also, Nick, one of the strengths coming into this season, at least to fall camp, was supposed to be the running game. But the injury bug has struck early and often during camp in Durham. So what's the situation in the backfield right now?
Yeah, so the running game, like you said, is supposed to be just off the wall this year. I mean, you've got Jalay Duncan coming back from suspension, and he's just, a human brick wall. Shaq Powell, who's pretty much an everything back, can do everything for you, and kind of is a mix of all the other backs, it almost seems like, Joseph Ajibi and Sean Wilson. And now you've got three of those guys down. So Sean Wilson, Joe, and Ajibi are both out with minor injuries. But they should, you see them tomorrow, Thursday, as well as throughout the season. It's nothing major. But Duncan, who I think is probably one of the biggest losses, outside of Kelby Brown for this team, he's gone with a torn pectoral muscle. Those take a couple months to heal from, so we're not really sure if we're going to see him on the ground. But the good thing is they have Powell. Powell is somebody who proved last season, more in one of his, this kind of his breakout year almost, that he's somebody who can get the job done, and especially against a team like Tulane, they should be all right for right now.
And it's really all hands on deck. Midway through camp for the Blue Devils, head coach David Cutcliffe switched third-string quarterback Nico Pierre into the backfield to make the transition to running back. So he's another option for Duke in the backfield as well. And on the defensive side of the ball, let's talk there real quick. The secondary is the real big strength. They lost Brian Fields, this junior starter at cornerback. He's out for the year with an ACL tear. But the rest of the secondary all returns from last year. Jeremy Cash, Devon Edwards, the usual suspects back there are going to make some plays. But really, another question for the Blue Devils is can they get some push up front?
Yeah, I mean, the defensive line has never been a strong suit as part of the Duke defense. It's always kind of been, you've had Jeremy Cash, at least the past 2 years, has been more or less one of the leading guys, as well as their linebackers who they've had in Kelby Brown and David Helton, both of which are now gone. But up front, I mean, it's bolstered by, the senior defensive tackle in Carlos Ray. I mean, he's not the biggest defensive tackle you're going to come across, but he does headline the group. And I think that for the most part, this year's unit is going to be kind of inexperienced. It's going to look shaky at times. Last year, the Duke defense had this really remarkable bend but don't break ordeal going on, at least for the first 3 quarters of the season, and they were among some of the best scoring defenses in the nation. Now this season, we're kind of going to see how that plays out with these, the young defensive linemen and the new starting linebackers as we move forward. And I think this game is going to be a really good test because Tulane does have a solid running game, and they showed that last year.
Yeah, let's talk about the Green Wave for a little bit here. Tulane came to Duke last year and left with a 47-13 defeat. Didn't leave too a good taste in their mouths, obviously. But quarterback Tanner Lee is back. He's got one of the stronger arms in the country. Didn't have a great day against Duke last year. Had 3 picks, no touchdown passes, but he should be someone to watch as well. But like you mentioned, Nick, the ground game for Tulane is pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean they've got a trio of running backs, all rushed for more than 450 yards last season, and it's among the best in their conference. And you touched on the quarterback, Lee. He's as a freshman, and this is what when you look at the Tulane offense, that's something you kind of see across the board. Is a lot of these guys were freshmen last year, and so they're just kind of thrown into the mix, and that's how you get the 3-9 record that comes out with it. And Lee's 12 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. But it's not to say that they're bad players or a bad team. They're just inexperienced. This season, this game, I expect is going to be a little bit closer than the 41-13 blowout we saw last year. And I do expect Lee to play better. I don't think he can go too much more downhill than he did. But yeah, I really expect the running game to see success once again this year.
Yeah, so all right, I think it's about it from us here. So Nick, you're going to be down there in New Orleans on Thursday, so we'll stay tuned for your coverage there. For Nick Martin, I'm Ryan Hoerger, and we'll catch you guys later.